How would you feel if you were being left out of the Hall of Fame for violations that have nothing to do with your play on the field? Pete Rose holds the record for most hits in a season, and because of this off-the-field betting scandal, he is not allowed into the Hall of Fame. His violations have nothing to do with his records. I strongly believe that Pete Rose belongs in the Hall of Fame. His reasons include that he earned his hits on the field. There are other people being considered for the Hall of Fame that are guilty of far worse. Most people, including former players, want him in the Hall of Fame, and I believe that he has suffered enough through other punishments. Pete Rose earned his 4,256 career hits. No one else has more. I believe that record holders deserve proper recognition. Some of his other records include most outs, games played, at-bats, and more. Betting didn't benefit his play. Here I have a quote from Dane Perry of CBS Sports on March 16th that says, "Pete Rose is of course a bleedingly obvious first ballot Hall of Famer, and at the very least he deserves to have his case presented to the voters. Hall of Fame is a baseball museum, not a gallery of the well-behaved, and it should tell baseball's story." The Hall of Fame wants records, not good behavior. Other players being considered for the Hall of Fame have done far worse, including steroid users like Barry Bonds, Mark McGwire, and Roger Clemens. They've done far worse things that actually do benefit their play, and they might get into the Hall of Fame. Here I have a visual aid of a signed baseball that Pete Rose says hits 4,256, steroids 0. The majority of fans and players think Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame. The Veterans Committee, who used to be in charge of electing who gets into the Hall of Fame, believe that Pete Rose should also be in. Quote here on January 24th of Sean Nealon for Bleacher Report writes that a lot of high-profile Hall of Famers do want him in and will give him their vote. Hank Aaron is one of those voices saying recently that I would certainly like to see him in. Aaron said, "He belongs in, really. His career is one that needs to be right in the middle of all of this." Many polls also favor Rose's reinstatement. Another quote here, January 5th, David Morris writes for ABC that baseball fans, 55% of Americans, are most supportive of returning Rose to the game. The poll found that 74% of fans say that the ban should end. Fewer non-fans, 55%, agree. Non-fans are more likely to have an opinion. And if Rose admits to betting on baseball, 2/3 of fans will still want him back, compared with only 47% of non-fans. Another reason that Rose should be in the Hall of Fame is that he has suffered enough from other punishments. Rose, not only not allowed into the Hall of Fame, is banned from baseball in general. He cannot play or manage in the MLB. He cannot be in baseball at all. Another huge hit that he took is to his reputation. Rose broke the rules, and because of that, he lost many fans and supporters. Pete Rose holds many records, yet none of them officially count. None of his records have anything to do with his violations. They didn't help him, hurt him, or anyone else. Another quote here, on July 4th, 2015, Jack McCaffrey writes for the Trentonian that Pete Rose tried to win. If it is so horrifying a crime that he was willing to risk some cash to prove that, then eliminate every incentive clause in every contract. Either way, it's a wager on success. But it just makes baseball feel good to hunt down one desperado, even while it is promoting casinos and fantasy sports gambling. Because of this, I believe Pete Rose belongs in the Hall of Fame. Taking this into consideration, Rose earned his records. There are other people guilty of far worse. Others want him in, and that he has suffered enough. I believe it is only right that he be allowed into the Hall of Fame, and so should everybody else.